This is your morning brief for Monday, June 17th. We missed a couple of days last week, Thursday and Friday. I was writing some exams, and I missed being in the studio, to be frank. I'd rather be in the studio doing these than writing exams. However, it had to be done. Okay, so we missed a few things, but it's actually a fairly light day in the news. But a couple things we do have to talk about is Huawei Sales. Sales are expected to drop to $100 billion from $130 billion as U.S. cracks down on Huawei's practices. There's some worries about them being a security threat and stealing intellectual property. The security threat, I'm not so sure, although they do work with the government, the Chinese government, quite closely. So it's a possibility, I suppose. And the intellectual property problem, I think that is a legit problem, and they need to solve it. I don't know if they needed to ban them from buying anything from the U.S. companies, but that's what's going on. And Huawei's in a bit of trouble through all this political pressure that's happening right now. Pfizer made a takeout bid for a company called Array. Array is a cancer specialist they have a skin cancer drug. They have some other drugs in the pipeline. The takeout bid is for $10.6 billion in cash. This is a nice tuck-in acquisition for Pfizer. I mean, obviously Pfizer's huge, so $10 billion in cash is actually just a nice little tuck-in for these guys. I like Pfizer. Pfizer looks good in our work. Return on capital has been improving for a few years. You got to be there in cancer, and this company's got approved drugs already in skin cancer and some other in the pipeline. The takeout represents a 62% premium from the last trading day. It's an interesting one for sure. I like it. I think it's good, and I like Pfizer anyways. Okay, so as I said, slow news day. Futures are hovering right around break even, and so we're not going to open up too exciting. Things can change, of course, but the opening doesn't look to be too crazy. Little sports catch up. As I said, we didn't do the show on Thursday and Friday last week, and two major things have happened since then. The Blues won the Stanley Cup on Wednesday night in a 7-game series over the Bruins. And I think most people are a little surprised at that. The Bruins looked really good going into the series and dominated a couple games, or three. The three they won, they kind of dominated. And the ones they lost could have went their other way, except for one. I think the Blues won by quite a bit. At any rate, the Blues are the Stanley Cup champions. And also on the Thursday night, Raptors wrapped up the NBA championship series. Their first NBA Finals win of 24 years of existence for the Raptors. What a streak! What a run! Kawhi Leonard was great in the run. Kyle Lowry probably had his best game in the last game. Fred VanVleet stepped up in the fourth quarter, sank a bunch of threes. It was quite a finish. So, and there's a parade today downtown Toronto starting at 10 a.m. if you're in Toronto. Starting at Exhibition Place, culminating in Nathan Phillips Square. I will be there, and you might see me because I'll have this jacket on. It's hard to miss this jacket. I'm about 5'11". I don't stand out in the crowd that much, but I'm not short either. I'm right in the middle, but this jacket might help. I know there'll be a sea of red, but no one's wearing a jacket like this. So come on down if you're in Toronto. It's good to get caught up with everybody. I'll be in the studio all week. Try and do some more company-specific names for you. And that's our morning brief for June 17th. Let's go find some gems.